Samir put me on the screen. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the day 2 of the 23rd World Education Summit School Education. And today we are beginning the day with an exclusive session on future proofing school ecosystem, blending technology for better educational outcomes. And with me today are Mr. Apoorv Nishal, Managing Director and Country Head India Power School. Welcome, Mr. Nishal. And Mr. Nikhil Gupta, Associate Director Power School. Welcome, Mr. Gupta. Apoorv, can
Hello.
you give me a brief about how Power School has been changing the education ecosystem in India, especially in K-12 segment, before you begin this session? समीर अपूर्व निश्चल स्क्रीन पे नहीं है समीर okay
Yes.
yeah
I think he's left.
Okay, so maybe Taranam, I can take that, and once
yes
Apur's join.
yeah so I think I'll have to start that again then that can be like we'll do that
Sure,
again
sure.
yeah so
Yeah.
Nikhil, if you can give us a brief about how Power School has been changing the education ecosystem in India, especially in the K-12 segment, before we start off with this session on future proofing school ecosystem.
Of course, of course. So maybe I can talk about a little bit about Power School's journey in the edtech space. Right, we have been there from the last 25 years, and now in India we have launched our products in the last 1 year. And okay, Apurv has joined, so
Perfect,
I have
great.
it. Let us pause.
Really sorry about it. So maybe can I start, Tarunum and Nikhil again?
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes. In fact,
Um,
Apurva, I asked for a brief on how Power School has been changing the education ecosystem in India, especially in
okay.
K-12 segment. And after that, you can take over.
Okay. Thanks. So Nikhil, are you continuing with that or?
Apurv, you can start, and
Okay.
then
So
I'll take
thanks, and
the.
sorry about it once again. It's a
No, no,
technical glitch
perfectly
here
fine.
and there.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. So good morning and thank you for joining the session, Blended Technology for Better Outcome. My name is Apoor Nishchal and I'm Managing Director and Country Head of Power School, which is a global leader in K-12 technology space based out of US and now in India as well. So the agenda of today's session, how we have set is that we will cover briefly about us, what we do, and then followed by insight on how already available solution and technologies can help and resolve the existing pain areas, which results in a better outcome for the schools. And I encourage, please feel free to ask any question now or after as well, in case if you have any, right? And so quickly, maybe Nikhil, if you can move to, if you can share the screen.
I'm sharing the screen.
Okay, so maybe let me run through that. Okay, so briefly about us. We have a history of 25 years. Started in 1997. We were owned by Apple in the past, and when Steve Jobs thought of having his focus move from from education to hardware. He sold this company to Pearson, and Pearson has owned us for quite some time. It's close to 9 years. Pearson Power School was owned by Pearson, and in 2015, Vista acquired us. So Vista is a PE company. They own 65 companies overall. One of it is Power School, and from there onwards, the journey of the second phase of Power School started with Hardeep became a CEO of the company, and and he has set a clear vision of for the organization that we need to give educator a unified experience and a better outcome for each student, right? I underline that, for each student there, right? And in last 6 year or so, we have grown crazily, organically as well as inorganically. We have grown from 400 employees in 2015 to right now 3,000 plus employees at Power School, with a lot of focus on innovation. And as we are talking right now, we have got to know that Power School has been awarded as the best innovation education company as well today, just today morning. Uh, okay, just a second. Hello, Nikhil, are you able to hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now, Apurv.
Okay, so let me
We
cover
lost
five
you
ten
for.
second of, yeah, 5 second, 5 10 second. So in last 6 years, we have grown crazily, organically. Maybe Nikhil, if you can go back, uh, we have grown crazily in last 6 years, organically as well as inorganically. We have grown from 400 employees to 3,000 employees with lot of focus on innovations. As I speak, I got to know that we have awarded as the best innovation education company. We have got that award today itself, and from predominantly 6 years back a sys company to acquiring 14 companies and delivering industries its first unified solution that breaks barrier for schools and unlocking student potential, right? And if you see there on screen, it's, I know that's too much there, but I can highlight some of it, that we own many award winning and mission critical products which support K-12 education solutions. To name few, we have a award winning, which we are very proud of, LMS system called Schoology, which helps in teaching and learning. We have a great analytics and data management suite. Career counseling and career readiness is another tool which we own. And we have recently acquired a company who is into the behavior management solution, which is social and an emotional learning piece. And then I have also a product which is known as Kinvolve, which helps in is a communication suite which help to simplify overall communication between the parent, student, and teachers, right? And Nikhil, if you can move to the next one, please. Okay. So, and then the other thing which I wanted to let you all know, that we have recently listed in a New York Stock Exchange. Nikhil, next. And I will request quickly, Nikhil, if you can run the video, how our solution are impacting the overall education system. Yeah.
Behind each of us is a winding road that led to where we are today. For everyone, the path is different, filled with trials and passions, successes and failures. But most important are the people who show up at just the right time, ready to lend a hand. Because we don't just learn from perfect conditions. We learn from false starts, roadblocks, and moments of heartbreak. From the ups and downs of the journey and the people who guide us through. It's time for students to have tools that help them succeed on their own terms, and for educators and parents to have technology that puts them on the same team. To unlock possibilities and break barriers for students, they require the latest innovations at their fingertips. That's why we're here, to support their potential with the technology they need to succeed. Because every student deserves the best opportunities in life, no matter where they're coming from or where they're going.
अभी नहीं हो रहा है यार.
Power School.
Yeah.
Apurji, just
Yeah.
just hold for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Actually, our session is not live on the platform. Just give us 2 minutes, sir.
So we need to re-log in, or how is it? We need to
No, no,
restart
no. You just hold on, sir. We have to restart, sir. Just give us
from
2 minutes, sir.
Video was
from
played
first
or even before that?
From the
from
restart. From the
from first,
starting.
right?
हाँ.
Okay.
Oh, so we go beginning, is it?
Tarunum, come on the stage.
I'm here only.
अरे राघव राघव कृष्ण आना मत यार मेरा पूरा सेशन खराब हो गया
समीर है बैकस्टेज पे समीर
Yes,
समीर
yes. Just Apu and Nikhilji, just give us 2 minutes.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
perils of technology. I'm actually on the Power School website right now.
I guess, yeah. I guess it will start with that visual of, again, the video of ELTS and all of that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Nikita just messaged some other session is live, so not that, okay, we are just running late.
हाँ.
Oh, so there is one more session which is there.
There's another event actually going on of another vertical of us. There's a CIO conclave going on. So we actually
Ah,
have two events simultaneously today. And tomorrow we will have three events, one physical event and two web events, virtual events.
okay. I don't know where my background gone, and
Okay, so
Perfectly
Abhishek,
fine. I
something
think no one,
something
I
it's
can
happened
okay.
start.
here and there. Every
That's
let's
what I
start.
said,
Let's
the
start.
perils of technology. I think we'll be starting off in a minute.
Abhishek mentioned this. We can start.
Yeah. Okay. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to day two of 23rd World Education Summit. And the day is being started with an exclusive session on future-proofing school ecosystem, blending technology for better educational outcomes. And with me today for this session, I have Mr. Apoorv Nichal, Managing Director and Country Head, India Power School. Welcome, Apoorv.
Yeah.
And Mr. Nikhil Gupta, Associate Director, Power School. Welcome, Nikhil. And before starting off and before me handing over the baton to you, Apoorv, can you give a brief about how Power School has been changing the education ecosystem in India, especially in the K-12 segment?
Yeah, definitely. So Tarannum and all, first of all, good morning and thanks for joining the session. And before I start, we have actually launched our award-winning learning management system in India in recent past, and we have seen that with the schools who are using our product, it is helping a lot in the outcome of the students. So we are looking forward to support and help all the educators there. And with that, I kick off this session. Once again, thanks for joining the session, Blending Technology for Better Outcome. My name is Apoor Nishchal, and I'm managing director and country head of Power School, a company which is a global leader in K-12 education technology based out of US and now in India as well. So agenda of this session is that we'll briefly cover about us, who we are, and followed by insight how the already existing solutions and technologies can help resolve the existing pain areas which schools are facing with a better outcome for the students. So, and I request and encourage, please feel free if you have any questions during the session and even after the session. So, Nikhil, if you can move to the next
I've
screen,
shared.
please.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's there.
Okay. Great. So, just a bit about us. I will take only 2 to 3 minutes to just let each one of you know who we are. So we are a 25-year-old education company based out of started in North America in 1997. We were also been owned by Apple. So Steve Jobs was owning us, and when he thought of having his more focus to his hardware business, he sold Power School to Pearson's. So Pearson was owning us for quite a good time for close to 9 years. And then in 2015, Vista acquired Power School. So Vista is a PE company which owns 65 companies and in all into the technology space, and one of it is Power School. And in 2015, we got our new CEO. His name is Hardeep Gulati, and he and the organization has a clear vision to give educator a unified experience and a better outcome for each student. I underline for each student. So with that, as a mission of ours, we started our journey 6 years back with with a growth in the mind with organic as well as inorganic. We have grown organically. We have grown from 400 people to right now 3000 with lot of focus on innovation. As we are talking, I've got to know that Power School has been awarded as the best innovation education companies as well. Got to know it right now, just few minutes back. And organically, if I talk about inorganic, I will talk about is that we were predominantly 6 years back a sys company. Now we have acquired in last 6 years 14 companies and delivering now industries its first unified solution that break technology barrier for the schools and unlocking student potential. So, and then there is so many things written, so many companies we own. We are a global companies and a global leader in the, and a global leader in North America and a leader in North America. So we own many award-winning and mission-critical products. Just wanted to name few. SIS and enrollment is already there, but I wanted to just highlight few of the products which sets us apart from our award-winning LMS system called Schoology. Recently, we have got the best LMS award in North America for LMS, and then we have. Analytics and data management solution as well with us. We have a career and college readiness suite as well. We have recently acquired a company called Kickboard, which is into behavior management solution, which is like social and emotional learning. And then we have now Kinvolved, which is a communication suite, which helps simplify overall communication between student, teacher, and parents. And and maybe Nikhil, if you can move to the next one, please. And I wanted to share this as that recently, last 6 months or so, we have went public in New York Stock Exchange. Nikhil, if you can move. Yeah. So, if Nikhil, if you can run quickly that what how we are impacting. We have just covered a minute present video to just share with you that how we are impacting our solution are impacting. Yeah.
Behind each of us is a winding road that led to where we are today. For everyone, the path is different, filled with trials and passions, successes and failures. But most important are the people who show up at just the right time, ready to lend a hand. Because we don't just learn from perfect conditions. We learn from false starts, roadblocks, and moments of heartbreak. From the ups and downs of the journey and the people who guide us through. It's time for students to have tools that help them succeed on their own terms, and for educators and parents to have technology that puts them on the same team. To unlock possibilities and break barriers for students, they require the latest innovations at their fingertips. That's why we're here, to support their potential with the technology they need to succeed. Because every student deserves the best opportunities in life, no matter where they're coming from or where they're going. Power School.
Great. Thanks. Thanks, Nikhil. And here, just quickly wanted to share some numbers which we are really proud of, and we are committed to grow this further, not only in North America but globally. So, so if you, there are close to 60 to 65 million students in North America. Out of those 60 to 65 million, 45 million students are using our products, and that makes around 70 to 75% of students in North America are using our product. And our presence is in 90 countries, and overall three, as I shared, overall 3,000 team members and 100 million users in our platform. And and down below you will see that we are continuously being awarded for the great processes, support what we are providing to our customers, and product which we own, and on impact we are making into the education space. And last year itself we have got like 14 15 awards, and it's just 2 months now. For this year we have got 3 4 awards already with us, right? So this just on the number side of it. Nikhil, if you can move to the next one. And just wanted to let everyone know that we have close to 500 schools, 500 plus schools already using our solution in APAC region. Uh, and to name few, we have IKEA, the American International Schools, and all. And we are growing. We are growing, and we are committed to grow. And also wanted to share that in Bangalore, in India, we have strong 1,200 employees who are working and supporting globally the solution products of Power School. So in India, India Center has started 3.5 to 4 years back, and now we have all the flavors of the corporate organization structure, from marketing to sales to product owners. We have 100, close to 100 product owners with us. We have 600 engineers. We have 400 plus support services engineers with us, and all flavor of collection and renewals been managed and supported globally. 100% for Asia market, and also we are supporting our global customers. So with that, I will hand over to Nikhil, who will run through more deep dive into the products and technology piece.
Thanks, Apurv. And hi, everyone. This is Nikhil this side from Power School. I head the deployments group for Power School India and also working very closely with this team here to launch Power School products in India. So thanks, Apurv, for setting up the stage. I will now basically talk about one of like how Power School is solving the problems in India, right? How we are impacting the education system in India and how our products can help the education system and the educators here in India. So with that in mind, we have been talking to like hundreds of schools in the last 2 years, and we did a lot of study where we evaluated a lot of products of ours. We have 30 plus products globally, which is being used by 90 plus countries, right? And there we figured out and found that Schoology Learning, which is our flagship learning management system, one of the largest products learning management systems in the world, that looks like a plug and play product for the schools in India. We have a few schools who were already using our product even before we launched this product in India, like through the inbound requests. So a lot of great feedback, and look, what we figured out is it's actually solving the right problems for the school, what they are looking for, and that's even pre-pandemic. Of course, we'll talk about how the product helped during the pandemic times and during the hybrid learning, but it's schools have been using it way before before that as well. So I'll talk a little bit about Schoology, but before that, I would just like to show like a video which gives you a overall gist about what this product is, and as we progress, I'll keep on drilling down more into the product.
We created Schoology in 2009, really with the mission of continuously advancing what's possible in education. At the click of a button, you can personalize education, you can assess student strength and weakness, you can grow student outcomes like you've never been able to do before. Schoology is a learning management system that simplifies the teaching and learning process by connecting people with all the tools that they need in one simple platform. Schoology has made it possible for the boundaries of the classroom to be extended beyond just the brick and wall. The reality is that people are online all the time. Students and learners have devices in their pockets, and they expect that same sort of immediacy from education. The goal for us has been to be able to deliver that kind of experience anytime, anywhere, and on any device. One of the core things that's great about Schoology is the focus on communication and collaboration. And what we've tried to do is make that a core part of the platform so that it's infused in students' learning and teachers' teaching every single day. Those are two elements that are so critical for success in life in general. We see it all the time where educators are actually collaborating with other educators, not just within the same institution, not even in the same region, but potentially even broader around the world, across the country. And they're sharing not only ideas, but resources, best practices, even sometimes full lessons and units that can be used in other people's coursework. Everything is right at their fingertips.
All right. So yeah, this is an overall list of how Schoology is being used in the schools, and I'll of course walk you through for 5 minutes to show exactly how it looks like what Jeremy was just talking about. But before that, I just wanted to call out like Schoology is one of the largest learning management systems being used in the world. We have 20 million users on this platform in over 60,000 schools. Which is phenomenal. None of the other learning management systems have that kind of collaboration on one platform, because imagine 60,000 schools, you have millions of teachers on the platform, right? And they sharing their best practices and they sharing their resources among themselves. It's just tremendous professional development for them. The product is very matured. We are there working with educators and doing a lot of iterations and reiterations from where we have come today. A lot of feedback have come from the educators to bring the product to this maturity level that we have today. And of course, it's very stable. Power School is a global organization, so we have teams all across the world, as Apoor was talking about. So we have a very stable system. We provide an uptime of 99.998%. So with that, I will move on to the next slide, which basically, so we spoke to a lot of schools in the last maybe 1 year, right? And these are some of the areas that we kind of constantly heard from the different stakeholders in the schools, especially with hybrid model. Students were really lacking inspiration and like not really engaged in the hybrid model, whereas teachers, be it hybrid or not, they are generally very overwhelmed with a lot of administrative work that goes onto their plate, and rather than them focusing on the academics front, right? Whereas principals, they are looking for upskilling of staff, like having more professional development of staff, and also like have a good understanding of where how we are doing academically, how the school is doing academically. Whereas parents, they are just they're a little kind of anxious of what's going on in the school. They want real time information, what's going on like on a day to day basis, rather than just waiting for the parent teacher meetings to happen. So how Schoology can help, and I'll just talk through few things, and maybe then I'll jump right into the product to show you exactly how that works, right? So students with Schoology, it is very personalized for students in a way that it can have very personalized courses and resources assignment for students based on the learning gaps that students have, right? For teachers, they can of course reduce their administrative work to a great extent. And like for example, assessments, that you have auto grading features in assessments, so they do not have to assess themselves, and they have a lot of reports regarding mastery based interventions, where like they can see which student is struggling on what topic and even what subtopic, so they can exactly work with that student on those areas, rather than just having a blanket approach for the entire class. For principals, they get a 360-degree communication across the board. They get a lot of insights on how the edtech tools are being used in their school, what is the engagement level, what are the outcomes by using those edtech tools, because we have seen schools have like adopted some edtech tools, but they really don't know what is the effectiveness of that each tool, what kind of outcomes it's bringing. So if you want to really quantify that data, Schoology gives you that. For parents, they can, of course, in terms of communication, they can, of course, have real-time information from the schools and see what their child is doing in terms of their assignments, projects, everything on a day-on-day basis. So with that, I'll just switch on to our platform to show how Schoology looks like. I hope everybody can see my screen. So this is the home screen of Schoology. Here I am on the principal role, where you can see pretty much all the features. So I can maybe highly quickly walk you through a few key features that Schoology offers to the school, right? What I was talking about. I'll go to one of the courses here, Indian History Grade 12, and we have a feature called as Mastery. So what it does is you have whichever course the student is going through, each resource in that course will have some kind of learning objectives, right? And each learning objective will have a kind of will make you understand, will give that insight to the student, like how the student is doing, to the teacher, that how the student is doing in that learning objective. So in this report, you will not just see like where the student is struggling on, which subjects the student is struggling on, but also within those subjects, what learning objectives the student is really lacking on. And that's where teachers can spend more time for that student for that particular topic. They can assign them more resources related to that particular topic to basically help that student to overcome the problems that they are facing. That's one. Of course, it has all the regular other features like attendance, gradebook, and all of that. You have also a lot of analytics that we provide to these teachers and students. So as I was talking about, schools have implemented a lot of edtech tools, but What about the engagement level of the student? So Schoology calls like shares report where you can see when was the Schoology last used by the student, how much time the student spent on the tool, and what exactly like what kind of resources they accessed in that tool. So that way the teachers always know what is the engagement level of the student and what's working and what's not working, what kind of resources are working and what's not working. That's like great insight for the teachers to keep on improvising their resources and assignments to the students. Then Schoology has its own conferencing. We know a lot of schools are using Zoom and Teams and everything. Of course, you can continue using that. Within Schoology, we have built-in integrations with all of those major tools, but Schoology also has its own native Schoology conferencing tool as well. Uh, with that, I would we have Schoology App Store, and I would like to basically call out here. I think we can think of Schoology as an operating system, right? Like every Android phone has an app store, every iPhone has an app store, right? Similarly, Schoology has its own app store. This is what you see here. It has more than 200 plus applications already integrated on the platform, and every month we add some new fantastic tools which are helping the school ecosystem in their day-to-day operations. So what it does is basically it's not just giving you all the learning management features. Of course it is, but it's also bringing all your edtech tools at one place and now letting them talk to each other so that you can get insights on which edtech tool is like how much engagement is there on which edtech tool, right? So that's really phenomenal because that really sets a, a lot of gives a lot of good insights to the principals, where they can see that what tools are working, what tools are not working, which school tools are being used by the students, and all of that. And of course, it has a lot of great integrations. We have most of the content tools which are integrated onto the platform. A lot of McGraw Hill Education, YouTube, Discovery Education, all these content platforms we have pre-built. All the productivity platforms are pre-built, like Google Drive, Microsoft Teams, and everything. And another piece that is again really setting Schoology apart from all of the other tools in the market is the resources that we have. Now, I was talking about Schoology has more than 60,000 schools on the platform, which means there are hundreds of thousands of teachers who are there on the platform, right? And what it does is there is something called as public repository in Schoology. So teachers who have been like teaching different subjects, they can share their content or their resources here on this platform. So how it works is, here you see Erin Labs is a grammar teacher. She has shared some grammar lessons here, and there are other teachers all across the world. Probably they are using that content and basically rating and sharing their feedback on that. So that's just one use case, right? So somebody sitting in the US has shared what they are using in the classroom, and others are benefiting from it as long as they're part of that community. So what Schoology does for like the teachers, right? That they get exposed to the world of education. They get exposed to the what teachers are not just doing within their community, within their maybe city or within their state, but they also know what teachers are doing all across the world. So that way they can always, it's a continuous improvement process where they keep on learning more about what's going on into the world of education, and accordingly upskill themselves for that. So with that, we of course have messaging with that you could use in the schools for, of course, for teacher, for parents, for within the student community, within the teachers. All of that is already inbuilt to Schoology. So yeah, I think this is pretty much, I have covered pretty much most of the features here. With that, I think we have some questions on the chat, so we would give it a few minutes to take those questions up.
Yeah. So maybe if you can add Ravi also into the Q&A. Ravi is our senior director and managing the product side of it. But we have few questions around the technology, how PowerSchool is helping to keep up the changing trend. So I think we have covered some aspect of it in the presentation. But if you need to know more in detail, request you to connect with us as well. But on a whole, I can say that PowerSchool has been helping schools adopt the latest technology from last 25 years. And with the changing trend, I can say that with our LMS system as well as our social emotional learning systems and communication suits, it is helping all the schools with over 60,000 schools globally and in India. We are helping with the technology that teachers are saving time and spending more time on the education and teaching the students. uh, Parents and students and parents are up to date that what's happening in the schools as a whole. And one more thing which I wanted to relate to it, and I was part of one of the panel discussion, or I was hearing one of the discussion where the panelist and one question was there around that ultimately we have content from many providers, which is really helpful, but ultimately teachers also wanted to have their own content, and they wanted to use the digital platform to educate their students in their own way as well, right? So with the LMS platform of ours, or the products which we own, it can easily be possible that the platform can provide anything, that you can pull content, you can create their own content, whatever way you wanted to do it, by clicking the pictures, by writing it there, by pulling the content from web. It's up to you, it's your baby, you can do whatever you wanted to do. So that's how we are helping in last couple of years. Even I can say that the growth, the adoption of our learning management system and our products has been multifold. We have seen in last 1.5 years that some of our products has seen some 300 to 400% growth, because of the quality of the product, because of the features and the functionality of the products which we are owning. It is helping immensely to the schools and resulting in the outcome as well. So over to Ravi. Ravi, are you in?
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. So I see another great question. We can take that. This is a question from Captain Rajiv Wali from Lancers International School. Online blended physical, what is the way forward? And how can we reconcile differing expectations from students, teachers, and campus community? And the third part of the question is, what are the essential education shifts are required? So the three parts to it, I can take those three. First is online blended physical, what is the way forward? What we are seeing when we are talking to schools is, and obviously what has happened over the last 2 years is, now before the pandemic, obviously all the classes in schools were physical. And in the 2 years, amazingly, within such a short notice, schools moved online and were able to achieve similar results. So we know that both physical classes and the virtual environment works. What is the way forward? I think for a while it is going to be schools are going to do a mix of both. We see schools sometimes saying part of the students are in class, part of the students are not in class. Sometimes they might have to shut down. So for a while it's going to be a blend of both, depending on where we are with the pandemic. But I think long term, a blend of both could really be beneficial for schools, and that's what they're thinking of, because we know the advantages in physical classes, we know there are advantages in virtual classes, and the future is about how to marry the both, right, for a virtual environment. For example, even when schools are normal, virtual can be great in doing real-time assessment quizzes that are actually harder to do in a physical class. A physical class is better to do collaborative projects, things like that. So there can be a blend of both for the long term. uh, Second part of the question is, how can we reconcile differing expectations from students, teachers, and campus community? If you really think about it, everybody has the same objective, right? To make students excel and achieve, for them to learn well and get good outcomes. That's the objective of students, that's the objective of teachers, that's the objective of parents, and the same objective of campus administrators. But the role of each of them is different, so it's important to have the right technology that bring in the important aspects of each of those, so that they're all working towards the same objective. I think this is not so easy in a real class without the right technology, because sometimes the decision makers or principals may not know what exactly is happening with each of the students beyond maybe at the report card level. How can they look at analytics at a deeper level? What is happening with each student? Where are they weak at? What perhaps special classes or other interventions that we need to take? So the important thing is to use technology that can bring all of these players together in one platform.
No, this is great. Yeah, the other thing which just wanted to add on here is that I can say that I'm part of a corporate world as well, where we are talking about how, from India perspective, India level, how we can have more effective students, right? So all these technologies, I can say that it really helps if it is blended well and delivered well, right? And so that's, and then with the technology, we can talk about education anywhere, right? Wherever you stop in the schools, in case if student wanted to start it from there, that thread, they can pick it up and start from there, right? So that's something which I wanted to add it more. Yeah. Okay. So that that's it, I
We
think,
are happy to
from
take
our side. Yeah.
more
Yeah.
questions.
In case, yes.
Otherwise, yeah, I guess Taranum, you
Any
can
other
take over.
questions we'd love to take? Otherwise, we could.
You are on mute, Abhishek. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So thank you, Apurji. Thank you, Nikhilji. So there is some net issue, I think, from the Tarunum side. So we have some more questions. So what we will do, Apu and Nikhilji, we will send you those questions to you via email so that we can
Sure.
revert you all that audience. And there's, I request all the audience, we have Power School team in our exhibition space area. If you have any question, if you want to take the demo of Power School today, tomorrow, any time, you can book the slot as well. And if you want to know more and you want to discuss regarding the depth of Power School, we have Apurji, Nikhilji, and Nikita, Raviji on board at any time. So please visit the Power School booth. Ask anything, ask regarding what new initiative, new innovation Power School are doing right now, and please drop your query there. So by this, we will wrap this session, and we have a Tarunum also. So I request Rajeshwar to please present the token of appreciation to Mr. Apoor Nischal. This is a small token of appreciation from the World Education Summit type to Mr. Apoor Nischal, Managing Director, Power School. And this is the speaker certificate presented to Mr. Nikhil Gupta, Associate Director, Power School. Thank you, Nikhilji. Thank you, Apoorji. Thank you very much for being at World Education Summit. And I request audience once again, please visit the Power School team at the Expo Space area. You will can watch the videos, what they have done. You can download brochure, catalog. We have a Nikita and Siri there to have a tag live conversation. You can put your demo request also. And if any other request you want to generate through digital learning, please drop your mail at education@digitallearning.in. So thank you and stay tuned for the next panel. Thank you very much. Thank you, Apoorji. Thank you,
Thank
Nikhilji.
you.
Thanks.
Thanks,
Thanks.
everyone. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye. Take care.